All right, welcome back to your first Chrono Trigger speedrun. Where we left off last, we had just defeated Magus and sucked into a portal back to 65 million BC. And also, I forget if we covered it. We probably didn't cover it, but there was a conversation with Ayla here. And then Kino came in and said, hey, there's some stuff that happened up here and blah, blah, blah. So anyways, you're like turboing through right here. And once they leave, if you're still turboing, you will sleep. And so you got that's just a little gotcha there for some time loss. So yeah, so if you're turboing their conversations, just as soon as they leave the room, stop turboing and then just leave the room. All right, so first thing on Glitchless, what I like to do is check my inventory. And if my mid potions are less than 20, then I'm gonna, right now they're 25, so we're in a good spot. But I would come to the Ioka hut here, and you want to talk to this guy, and then you can buy 11 more mid potions, or however many it takes to get to 20-ish. So just for the rest of the run, it's kind of a safety thing. But since we did pretty good on Magus, often on Slash and Magus, you can spend a lot of mid potions. And so that's the concern there. You can kind of feel it out, and then not even look if you feel good about what you spent on mid potions. So, anyways, we're coming up to the Laruba ruins, and then we got to listen to this conversation that Ayla's going to have with the chief of Laruba. And this is the famous conversation where Ayla says, what is it? Let's see. Give Dactyl. I think I just missed it, but she basically says, man looks alive but is dead inside, or something. Okay, so anyways, she asked for the Dactyl, so she gets the Dactyl. We're gonna go follow her. She kind of doesn't even notice we're there, so we're just gonna follow her up. And then we're gonna run right into an encounter here. Okay, so when we come into this encounter, Frog is on Berserk. So this is another like counterattack encounter here. So this monkey dude will counterattack if you hit him. And it's like a couple second delay, and it'll delay you by a couple seconds. So instead of that, we're going to escape and then let Frog hit somebody automatically because he's on Berserk by default. We want him to hit one of the rocks and not the monkey dude. If he hits the monkey dude, then in fact, let's see if we can get it to hit the monkey dude. I'll show you. No, anyways. We're getting good luck right now. But yeah, anyways, if he hits the monkey dude and he doesn't crit, if he crits, it's fine, he kills it. But if the monkey dude, here, we can just leave auto battle on. There's the delay. So we want to avoid that little delay there. So I usually come up, bump the rock, start hitting escape, and then just take auto battle off. This one we just escape, no biggie. Coming up here. We're gonna come up, we're gonna grab this chest. I believe this is a mid-ether, yeah. This skip is pretty simple. This guy we can just walk right past. If you're doing this fast, you just go on a watch that you're holding up right as you get around the corner, so right to up. I think I missed this guy once on a marathon because I didn't hold up. Yeah, there you go. So that's the key there. This is it's a really easy skip here. You just gotta up around the corner and you got it. Now this one on SNES is really hard and very particular. Like you have to set, these guys move here. You have to set this up like right here somewhere. But on PC, all we gotta do is kind of come up here and then walk behind the dude and crawl up the thing. Like it's just really simple. No weird lineups here. just run up here and behind this guy and climb the ladder. So it's pretty quick. Alright, then we got these guys are easy enough. We're coming through here. We're going to grab this as we go up. That's the Mesoic male. And then this is the last little skip here. I usually switch to walk mode. And you see this piece of white, not white, you see this light green square here? You want Chrono's foot to line up on that, on the square. It's somewhat forgiving. Anyways, let's try to get it like right that, and then up. And then if you keep holding up, it'll auto move you to the ladder. You don't have to hold left or anything. In some cases, so if you're too far, see how there's something to interact with here? Yeah, we went too far. There's nothing to interact with. That's where you want to be. But yeah, it's this light green square here is what you're looking for to line up Chrono's foot with. I feel like I've gotten away with just with overlining it. Oh, there it is. So yeah, it is a little touchy, but I've gotten it to the point sometimes where I can I usually line them up and then put run on and then go. But sometimes I'll come up here and I see the bubble that says I'm interacting with something. And as long as you don't hit left right there, like if you see the bubble and you hit left, you can sometimes trigger the encounter there. But if you continue to hit up and get it, it'll automatically put you on the ladder, then you can still skip it even if you see that bubble there. So, all right, turboing through here. We're just gonna come up and meet Ayla. Gonna turbo through stuff here, and by default the party should include, it's gonna ask you a party, and the default party is what you want, which is Luca. Yeah, so Chrono, Ayla, Luca, and so you can just hit cancel, and then you're gonna want to start mashing cancel because we have another cutscene here. So there's the cutscene. So anyways, we would mash cancel, and then we fly over. I usually fly diagonal down until I get to this volcano, and then I go down to Tyranno Lair. Welcome to Tyranno Lair, friends. This is where all the skips really matter. So let's get prepared for some fun. Sorry, I'm scrolling notes, so I'm up to the spot where we're at. Just to make sure, because this menu is a little different on RNG Minute, but on Glitchless, we do headband on Chrono, we're going mist robe, and power scarf on Ayla. We're getting the speed belt off of Luca by giving her silver earring, and this gives her more health at this point. Then you can tap back to Chrono, and then just do speed belt. So basically we're swapping the speed belt onto Chrono by giving Luca silver earring. There's some strats and other routes that do headband on Luca, and that actually gives her more speed. So that can be helpful, but then her health is much lower. So we kind of like the silver earring on Glitchless to have the extra health. So anyways, coming into Tyranno Lair, gonna come straight up. There's these two monkeys here. Just if you come straight up and then over into the mouth, you're fine. You just gotta watch the timing of it. If you come straight in, timing's gonna be perfect. But you know, if you catch him when he's coming after you like that, obviously if you don't bump him, you're fine. But if you actually move towards him while he's doing that, like, he'll trigger. Next two fights we just escape from. Auto battle is fine. Alright, you see some people are stuck in here, but we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna go straight to here. Okay, we're coming down to this other cell, and you're gonna come down here, and these guys are gonna notice you. 2 text boxes, then escape again. And then you're gonna wanna turbo or mash on Kino here. So Ayla and Kino are gonna have a conversation. Ayla's gonna power her way through in and then back out. All right, very important here. If you are using toggle turbo, untoggle it here. This is a weird thing with Steam Turbo too. With toggle turbo, if you turn it off, it sometimes like is kind of still on. It's hard to explain, but there's going to be a room coming up where you cannot have this weird almost on state. So anytime, and because of this is how I learned this. It's because of this skip coming up. Because of that, anytime you turn toggle turbo off, I always just hit A, or hit confirm, or hit turbo again real quick, just to kind of like confirm like that it really is off. Yeah, it's hard to explain, but something weird about Steam toggle turbo. I'll explain it as we get there. So Kino's gonna open up the prison here. Whether you beat Kino or not here, he will beat you on this screen. But we do try to like meet him at the mouth here. And I try to get behind him like this. And then go straight in. All right, so very important here. You want to come all the way down and then over to the left to the switch. If you end up coming in over here, you're going to trigger the encounter instead. So yeah, but once you trigger that switch, before they even finish falling, you can go into the next room. This next room is a really weird skip. So you're gonna come into this next room. It's down here. This is a doorway right here. You're gonna come into this next room, and there's a bunch of reptiles like running around. Don't move for just a split second, and then go straight left, and they won't aggro. It's a weird thing, but this is where the toggle turbo thing comes in. If Steam Turbo is toggle turboed on and then off, sometimes they can still trigger this encounter. It's weird. So just that should go away if you just tap it once, tap turbo, tap A, confirm once after turning toggle turbo off. But it's just extremely important for this one skip. And if you don't understand and you use toggle turbo, you'll probably be able to figure this out at some point, just to finally experience it. All right, so coming in here, split second, go left. And yeah, that's it. That's a pretty simple skip. So then we're gonna come up. This room, y'all, if you're speedrunning this game, you're probably familiar with this room in general. Assuming you played Chrono Trigger a few times. This room is like a teleport room, and depending on what direction you go, it'll teleport you all over the room, and you don't know where the heck you're going. So I don't know how they figured this out, but if you just diagonal left up, and just hold diagonal left up, you can just walk right through this room. So from here, you can just left and then up, and we're out through the room. So that's it. It's just diagonal left up, this whole room. Don't pick that chest or you're in trouble. Do not pick extra chests. Very important. All right. Okay. Reminder that any of these encounters that we're gonna be skipping are permanent encounters, and you cannot escape from them. So it could be helpful if for some reason you miss some skips or whatever, you could do some heals right here. And then be prepared to lightning with Chrono and like auto battle and stuff like that on these guys. Weak to lightning. If you see the big green dragon or dinosaur dudes, lightning can shock them and pause their ATB for a couple turns, so very important. But yeah, that's the main thing here. So, all right, we're gonna come out here. Now the notes have a really cool diagram. I think it was Fell who did this, but it might have been someone before him. Really cool diagram about where you're supposed to walk and run on this screen. On the screen, there's this left part that we come out of, there's a middle part that's closed, and then there's a right part that has an opening that we want to get to. But you're going to want to follow the pathway on the diagram. But I want to show you where these encounters are. I believe there's some directly below Chrono here. Let's fuck around. Let's fuck around and find out. Okay, there's one right there. I'm going to reset the room. The other thing, sometimes if you resume an autosave after loading up the game, if you do it too quickly, sometimes it's just a black screen. Just reload the game, it'll come back. Okay. So it seems like the encounter's like off down to the right here. So we're gonna try to avoid that by going up. And then I believe this is clear here. But the next encounter is like right here. It's right there. So the idea is to path down to here and then a third of the way down, not all the way down. There's an encounter down here too. Yeah, right here. So we don't want that encounter either. So yeah, so path up here. And the reason we path diagonally down here is to avoid this one that's on the right here. So that is this guys, these guys. If you get those guys, they're not too hard to beat. You can cyclone each side and then just auto battle. And in fact, they're used for a leveling, for a grind in a different category sometimes. We're gonna do a different grind here that's a little quicker, but coming up quick. All right, so anyway, so we're coming down here, we come diagonal down here, and you don't want to come all the way down. You want to come like about a third of the way down. And then all the way up into the next room. So that's the pathing here. Diagonal through here. Oof, and yeah, so here's in the middle. There's an encounter above and there's an encounter below. So you just got to be careful about where you're pathing here. And then key here is the right switch. The left switch will bring an encounter. The right switch will open the door. Hit the switch, that opens the middle door. Again, coming out of here, come about third way through. Ooh, that was a little close. And now we're gonna start our grind situation. We're gonna have to do 7 fights before we do Nizbel. If you walk in here, you'll see Nizbel here ready to greet you. You can even talk to him and he'll be like, he'll pretend like he's gonna let you pass. But before we mess with him, we wanna do this grind. So if you enter this, this cave, this room, I think it's because if you're going fast, nothing happens. If you go diagonal, because PC's diagonals are slow, you can pop this encounter up by entering in here. And all you're gonna do is cyclone and auto battle. All right, so that was 1. Then you'll have to reset the room, come back in, and then diagonal up again. So it's a little hard to get used to. Once you set Cyclone, by the way, you can turbo this fight so it becomes quicker and you can catch it before they try to catch you. But yeah, so okay, we'll come in, reset. So I like to do this grind, I like to just tap. Oof, see, even that's like borderline gonna catch this other encounter we don't want. But yeah, it's tap to the right and then diagonal up. That's all you gotta do. That's 3. You'll see them learn some stuff at about 3 fights in. If you didn't, depending on where you're at with other skips and stuff. Another way when you're just learning, I find that I used to do is when you come out, you hit walk, and then you can kind of walk over by tapping a little bit. The key is you don't want to go too far right or you get that other extra encounter, which if you get it, like I said, you just would cyclone it cycle on each side, and then auto battle. But you know, it is time loss. It gives more TP tech points, but it does take a little longer to do, and it might change our tech point route, and so it's better to not mess with it. Okay, so this is fight 4. All right, and then I like to take walk off, come back in, walk on. There we go. Anyways, that's one way to do it. I've gotten to the point where I can easily keep run on now and still do it without hitting the encounter, but it can be a little bit close, so just gotta tap once. What we're looking for in the 7th encounter is Thunder Chomp is probably what you're going to see. But you know, because the tech points fly by really fast, it's sometimes hard to see, but you should be able to kind of glimpse Thunder Chomp getting learned. There it was. So yeah, if you you probably were able to see that, but you can always come in and check, and you want to look for Ayla getting Cat Attack, which also signifies that she should get a dual tech Thunder Chomp. Okay, once we have that, you're going to come in, ignore Nizbel, come in here, shelter, save, whatever you want to do. But yeah, we're going to shelter. You want to change battle speed to 5. Very important. This fight's a little bit scary. It's easy to get this fight wrong. And so once we go up, he's going to have like 1 or 2 text boxes, and then we're into the fight. So the strat for this fight is much like the last one, where you hit him 3 times, you lightning him and you hit him, and there's I think it's a timer, but unless it's amount of damage, something. Anyways, the strat basically means we're gonna Thunder Chomp 3 times, he's gonna output, and we're gonna want to heal. But in between that, he's still like AoEing a bit and attacking random people. So Chrono and Ayla are Thunder Chomping. Luca's on heal duty, and you kind of just have to play with it. But we're going to do that twice. So we're going to do Thunder Chomp, Thunder Chomp, Thunder Chomp, output, Thunder Chomp, Thunder Chomp, Thunder Chomp, output, and then we're going to end the fight with Fire Sword and set Ayla on Cat Attack. So Fire Sword, the idea is to set Chrono on Fire Sword so that he's ready for Tyranno, and same with setting Ayla on Cat Attack, because that's what we're going to use on Black Tyranno. But it doesn't always work that way. I find that Luca gets first ATB sometimes, and so she's the one setting Fire Sword anyway, which doesn't really help. But either way, you should be able to get Ayla on Cat Attack at the end, which in some ways doesn't really matter either. So take what you will. This is what the fight will look like. Okay, Thunder Chomp, we're going to pop into Luca's menu and hold for the auto animation. We're going to pop out. He's going to do an AoE. You're going to wait, see who he attacks. He attacked Chrono, so we're going to heal Chrono. Thunder Chomp a second time. Thunder Chomp a third one if you can get it fast enough. And then he'll output. All right, and then we're going to probably go with, I like to look at who's got the least health, and it seems like Luca does, which is what we would expect. So mid potion her, Thunder Chomp again, this is 1. And I'm gonna look, it looks like Ayla is the next least, so we're gonna heal her. He's gonna do an AoE, we're gonna do this again. It looks like even Chrono's at 99 health. If he hits Chrono, okay, and he did, it shouldn't kill him. So we're gonna mid potion. We're gonna do one more thunder jump. He's gonna output, but you want to take a look at our health at this point. So it seems like everybody's above 200-ish. Luca's, I think everybody's safe. I don't think Luca's gonna get hit for more than 227 health. But yeah, this is kind of an evaluation as you go, and it goes kind of fast. But we're betting that, we're hoping and betting that Luca is gonna not take the hit here. Let's see. Oh yeah, plenty. Okay, so as you can see, Luca got first ATB, so I'm gonna fire sword with her rather than try to get over to Chrono, because that's gonna leak time big time. And then while we're doing fire sword, I'm gonna auto battle. We're gonna hit cat attack just to get Ayla on that for the next thing. And that's Nizbel 2, friends. It is a little scary. You'll see how low health we are at the end there. If you don't get to fire sword fast enough, whatever he does next, actually in that case he would have probably AoE'd next, and Luca probably would have died. But then the next couple hits that he'll do on anybody, somebody's gonna die. So basically the whole fight falls apart if you don't have the exact setup. I think also if you accidentally auto battle him, that screws up the damage, and then the damage that goes into him before he outputs. And so yeah, just something to keep in mind. You may have to do this cycle a couple times, and if so, you got to be really good with healing. You might even have to. We got lucky there where we were able to like eyeball healing as we thunder chomped, but you might have to actually just take a whole cycle where each of them heals themselves before you go back to thunder chomping, and that's totally fine. It's just time loss. So all right, we're not gonna worry about healing yet. We are just gonna go to the next room, and we're back to another skip room here. Is this in the notes? This is in the note. Well, no, this one's not in the notes. That's weird. Okay, so for this one, you just want to come straight right when you come out, down a bit, and just try to stay up in the top here. But yeah, you should be able to straight right, down, and then into the right there. Let's see. Yeah, it's like something like that. You just don't want to come too far lower than this. Yeah, or that happens. There you go. There you go. And you cannot escape those, so you can either reload the autosave there or fight the fight. The nice thing about PC is the auto load situation. All right, so you want to come all the way to the right. This door's open. Unlike before where we went around and up. Oh, that actually worked. Where is... Oh, that's the encounter. So that's the encounter you're trying to avoid. But as you notice, we are low health. We really cannot take these encounters at this point. Oh, we came out of the room. Okay. The key to this really is just going around this corner here, and that'll get you in there. It looked like I could do this. Nope. Yeah. So yeah, don't do that. It looked like when I tried it just a second ago that you could come through here. So that's kind of weird. Yeah, this is the safe way here. This corner. So unlike the other right room where we went straight over and up, this one you want to kind of hit this corner to get where you're going. So anyways. All right, coming in here, do not hit either of these switches. You want to come straight in and straight up to this switch. We're going to use this save point. We're going to do a menu. We're giving Power Glove, Ruby Vest to Chrono. We're skipping Ayla. And we're going to Luca, and we're giving her the speed belt back. We're going to Frog. We're taking the Berserker off him and giving him the Guardian Bangle. That's just for a coming up thing. It's just like we're in a menu. We're going to do this as a prep thing for later. Pop out, pop back in, shelter. Pop out, pop back in. Settings, battle speed. Okay, so we were on 5 for Nisbel 2. I think it's, oh, we're actually saying Battle Speed 1 in the Glitchless notes. I'm surprised about that. Battle Speed 1 is scary AF on PC. I think I've talked about this. And so, but Battle Speed 3 or 2 for Tyranno is pretty comfortable. I like 2 a lot. It still feels very fast, but it works pretty well. Okay, so after you do that, you come up to the mouth, hit the thing to open it. I like to grab the, it doesn't matter if you hit the switch or the high ether first, but B-Dude explained this to me a while back, that if you hit the high ether and then this, then you go straight down. I guess that's another reason why you would come to the save point first. You can also come to the mouth first and do this stuff and then come to the save point, but then you have to line yourself up. And it's not quick or easy, because you don't want to come out and hit these 2 switches, because those will be encounters. I think one makes the floors disappear and one makes the encounter happen. So technically, only one of them would be bad to hit. But yeah, anyways, if you're in here and you're over here, then it'll slide you kind of down through the middle automatically, and you come right out. So that's the nice thing about doing that after the save point. Okay, coming back out here, coming over here, there is a block right here. This is explained in the notes. There's a dark block here. So I switched to walk here to line Chrono's foot up to about the spot. Yeah, right about there. And then you just come straight up. It should be kind of lined up with this post-ish area. And then we're like into the next room. So if you don't do that, then there's this guy, which, you know, those guys are kind of a pain. The nice thing about those guys is you can lightning them, and they'll lose some turns while you kick their butt. So, anyways, once you come in here, Azala will interact. Turbo through. This mid-ether here can be good to grab. Not required, but can be good to grab. And then we're into Tyranno. So, alright, Black Tyranno coming up here. Okay, so Black Tyranno. First thing we're going to do when we come into Black Tyranno is we're going to Hypno Wave with Luca. And she's going to, and that's going to hopefully make Azala fall asleep. In the meantime, Azala's throwing you telekinesis and doing some stuff. Tyranno's like doing some minor stuff. But once Azala gets to sleep, it might take multiple tries. Then the defense down timer kind of starts. So there'll be a couple. The cycle for Tyranno is fire, breath, chomp. When he chomps, he heals with your HP that he chomps out of you. So because of that, we don't actually hit Tyranno at all until his defense goes down. And then we also, after the first full round of stuff, we're not going to heal because then he'll have more to chomp out of you. Basically, that's the idea there. But yeah, the cycle is Hypno Wave. Wait till defense down. Once defense is down, we're going to Fire Sword and Cat Attack repetitively while he counts down to 0. You want to try to get a Fire Sword and a Cat Attack out once per countdown. So 5, Fire Sword, Cat Attack, 4, Fire Sword, Cat Attack, etc., etc. Once he hits 0, obviously, he's going to do his little fire breath stuff. And, oh, I should also note that during the first cycle, while we're waiting for a defense to go down, there is a strat. I don't know if it says this. It doesn't say this. So there is a strat, I think it comes from the SNES run, to mid potion. Even though I said not to potion, to mid potion on the first cycle before the first defense down, anybody who gets chomped. And that is to make sure that nobody dies on that first end of the countdown run And the other thing to note is that because we haven't hit Tyranno yet, if he chomps you during that and you have more health, like, it's not a big deal because he's already full health. It doesn't matter. So that's the thing. So basically the strat is Hypno Wave, mid potion and wait as needed. Defense down, Fire Sword, Cat Attack. Defense goes back up. Then we're going to sit there and revive anybody that dies as soon as possible. And then Flame Kick with Luca and Ayla for 3 or 4 or 5 times. 5 if you feel like you didn't get a lot of damage in on the first defense down round. This time, after 3 little cycles of his like fire, fire, chomp, fire, fire, chomp, defense will go down again. And at this point, because we're low health, all bets are off, and we have to finish him off with Fire Sword and Cat Attack. So there is a backup strat where you could go another cycle after that, where you would just want to mid potion Chrono near the end of that cycle, and so that somebody lives at the end of the cycle, and then he can Athenian Water and continue again. But you know, that's going to be time lost. Ideally, you should be able to get this done in 2 cycles, with 3 to 5 flame kicks. 3 is the best case scenario. But yeah, anyways, I'll try to show you what this looks like and talk you through it. Remember, this is Battle Speed 2. You can try this on 3 or 4 and it's totally fine to start. If you're feeling ballsy, you can switch it up to okay, Zala's asleep. You can switch it up to Battle Speed 1 if you're feeling ballsy, but it is very tight on Battle Speed 1, just a warning. Alright, now once Zala's asleep, then it begins. We kind of wait. So I'm gonna auto battle his little animations. He's chomping. I'm going to mid potion. And then after this next cycle, after the next chomp, defense is gonna go down. Okay, he's chomping Ayla. I'm going to do this. We're gonna get ready. Lowers defense, begins story power. You saw that? So I'm in the menu, so I immediately hit the menu. As soon as Chrono's ATB came up, we're gonna Fire Sword, and then during that we're gonna Cat Attack. And then I'm gonna try to turbo it. Okay, we got the turbo off. So the hard thing about the turbo here is... That was nice, all right. Sometimes Luca is too slow for the turbo. But no, I think on Battle Speed 2 it just works very nicely here. So you're seeing I'm turboing, I'm auto battling. This is number 1. So the next one he's gonna do his little things. We're not gonna try to turbo. Nobody should die to this because we healed up. Oh, never mind. Ayla is very, what is it? Luca is very resistant to fire, and Luca is the opposite. Or sorry, Luca's resistant to fire, Ayla is the opposite. So she's more likely to die from the little fires coming at you too. Anyways, we're trying to get... Okay, that's gonna kill. Basically, anybody's gonna die on the chomp at this point because we're so low health. Anyways, here's our first flame kick. Hold ATB with the menu as needed. That's the second flame kick. Okay, Chrono's getting low there. See who he chomps. So that's 3 flame kicks. We're gonna have to res Chrono. But you see how he only got 7 health out of the Chrono from healing? So he only healed 7 health from that. We're gonna... We should be good. We did 3 flame kicks. We could do a 4th. We can afford to do a 4th. Let's just do it for safety. Okay, he's going after Ayla again. Alright, lowers defense. You saw how fast that is on Battle Speed 2 though. Like, as soon as Chrono shows up, getting over to his and into his tech menu and Fire Sword. Once the animation starts, you have a little more leeway getting into Ayla's menu. And then we're turboing again. Yeah, that's it. That's the fight. Because we did 4 flame kicks, it'll probably be less rounds here. Then we won't have to go all the way to the 1 on the countdown, I think. Yep, there you go. That's Black Tyranno. Gonna toggle turbo here. This is a nice little break here. If you need a bathroom break, probably like a minute or so, minute and a half, somewhere around there. Because there's a little chat here. Lava's gonna fall from the sky. Everybody's gonna be watching from the sky and talking, and then eventually coming down on their pterodactyls. So. But yeah, you can see how kind of tight that fight is. But I find Battle Speed 2 works really nicely for that turbo setup as long as you get Chrono on Fire Sword and Ayla on Cat Attack. You can turbo right through that. You also have to watch out for auto battle though. You're auto battling the animations. Sometimes if it gets off, you could be auto battling the roar when he's roar. And then you have to make sure to take it off fast enough so you can get back to the turbo again. So yeah, anyways, it can be a nerve-wracking fight on higher battle speeds. Definitely worth practicing on Battle Speed 3 or 4. But otherwise, not too tough. And I think we can call that the end of this video. So congratulations, you got through Nizbel 2 and Black Tyranno. You got through Tyranno Lair. That's what we're going to call this video. So yeah, next round we are going to go and see the Kingdom of Zeal and see what's in store for us.